Hello, Clever Hires Tribe, and welcome back to the Resilience series. Today we are here with Maria Quintanilla Duhne, and we are having what looks like a normal conversation. She's in her office today.
Yep.
So I know the conversation will be normal, but she looks like regular business casual today, in case you're listening and not watching.
Right.
We were just talking about before we started, Anna, it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius over in Monterrey. And it seems like the buzzword in the last couple of weeks all over the world has been drought. I was watching the news today here in Europe. A lot of the rivers that they use to transport things, the water level has gotten so low, they might not be able to do it anymore by the end of the summer. So how are things going over there?
Well, kind of like the same. The dams are almost empty. We are excavating new holes to find water. All this could have been prevented if we had a little bit more consciousness, more empathy for other people. There's always a way to learn and do the best thing. I find the most difficult part is educating and giving feedback to your own family and friends who waste water, or they don't recycle everything, or they don't treat our earth, our animals in the best possible way. Not because they don't want to, but it's just like lots of ignorance. And it's so difficult to try to teach your own people. So I guess if you teach my people and I teach your people, we help each other. It's like in adolescence, sometimes kids don't listen to their parents, but they would listen to someone else. So maybe the best thing we can do today is be someone else to our neighbors and help them in a very nice way to think about how to do things in the right way. That's what I think, anyways.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hopefully, now that things are happening, it's sad it has to be reactive, but maybe that will push some people to make that change.
That's right.
Yes, it's getting ridiculous. And how has that affected people's standard of living? There are some places where you turn on the tap and nothing comes out, or different things in the economy. What's going on over there?
Yeah, that's basically what happens. Tap water is not there anymore. So so there's like buses, like trucks that come with tons of water, and you can take it home. And some people have reservoirs of water in their houses so they can have more water, but they know they need to spend it in a smart way. I don't have a reservoir of water, a big one in my house. So I just have like the buckets, like the ones I use for cleaning. And I just use that water for the dishes, and then you get a little cup and you take a shower like that. You learn to live like that. I hope that it's going to rain soon and the dams and the rivers are going to get water again. And now that we're all much more conscious, we're going to be more careful. That's what I think.
Yeah, I hope so. Once you take a shower with a cup of water instead of a stream of water, you learn some lessons about yourself.
Yes. And you learn to make adjustments. And that's what life is all about, making adjustments. And the ones who understand what's happening and they just move forward, that's going to be really good for them. And the ones that are complaining and blaming others and pointing fingers, well, they're going to stay there for a while. until they figure, let's move on.
Mm-hmm. And you said
Right?
mental and emotional health is two separate things. What's the difference?
Well, how should I say it? It could be the same. Some people like to say emotional health when it's the day-to-day things that happen in life. If someone is depressed, like severe depression, they need mental health treatment. They might need to go to a psychiatrist. Maybe there's something that their body is not producing, a chemical, and they just need this meds, and that's going to be fine. Emotional health, it's more something you learn. Your emotions, you learn them from your family when you're small. People that feel, oh, I'm the victim, and like, poor me, everything bad happens to me, they need emotional health, right? They need to get out of there. So it's not mental health per se, it's more emotional health. You help yourself feel happy.
Yeah, that's a good distinction. I like that definition. Okay. That's definitely going to be one of the clips for this episode.
Oh, goody. Goody. I was never asked to describe the difference. I am trying to understand myself and understand how people can live a better life, can enjoy today. Wherever you are, whatever your situation is, can you enjoy it a little bit better? Even if you're sick or someone near you is having a very big problem, can you be happy that you're learning to cope with this situation? Because you might be able to help others or help yourself because you're living what you're living today. Life is a great teacher.
That is very true. With your podcast, you just had an episode come out about cancer and other degenerative diseases. You're already 134 episodes in.
The objective of el podcast de Wisdenn is to help people develop skills or listen to a different point of view so that you can question yourself and be more successful with whatever you want to do today.
That is a very, trying to think of the right word, a very noble goal. I like that.
You know what? Every week I give several coachings and trainings, and I design new conversations for Wiz.Coach. So I get these new ideas every week. So I choose one of them and just share it in the podcast within 10 minutes or less. Sometimes I meet very interesting people. I met this person who was an alcoholic and explained like the 12 steps and what helped him. So I said, wow, this is incredible. I just read about this in the books. So I interview him. It's coming out of the heart of this very nice friend of mine. Each episode means a lot to me.
I feel the same. Each one I learn something different, or I'm like, I hadn't thought about it that way before. It's always a learning experience. And then to be able to record it and share it with you guys makes it even better. But with your podcast, how fast is the process? Do you record it, and then how long does it take for it to go live?
Well, my friend Nayeli is the one who helps me edit. And I basically record it on my phone. I write it first, and I reread it many times, and then I'm kind of reading it and putting in some feelings. So I record it, and then I have to listen to it, and look at this. Can you see? From this minute to this minute, take it out, erase this part, and then put in this other part. And I put all the things I need for the edition. And then a day after, it's ready. It's already published.
Wow, Nayeli is fast.
Oh, yeah, she is. She's so smart. Yeah, I couldn't do it myself.
Yeah, it helps to have a team, which
Oh,
your
yes.
team is mostly, well, not mostly, but a lot of them are related to you.
Well, yeah. There's 25 of us in Wisdenn Consulting. All feel like family, but some are really like blood family. Carmen Duhne, she's my mom. She started Wisdenn in 1990. Then I joined in 92. Then my husband joined in 96. And recently, my daughter, Carmen, and my son, Fernando, and even my sister, Beatriz, they're all helping in different projects. My eldest son, Ramiro, he makes some videos for us too. So the whole family is there helping. My daughter said, Mom, this is not like home office. This is office home. Because we're all here. We're working like 10 hours a day. Right?
Oh, man. Well, you
Yep.
have to tell Ramiro and Carmen that the website is beautiful and the videos are very professional. So please tell them I said
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. I will.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
you really wanted to share with us the 3 rules to be happy working in a family business, because it's fun working with your family. But like you said, you have office home. How do you keep it separate and not drive each other nuts?
Oh, we're very open about it. Like just yesterday, we had lunch together, my husband, my daughter, and myself. And my daughter said, "Oh, can we have lunch and be talking about the new web page?" And I go, "Really? No, I really just need to eat without thinking about work." And she said, "Oh, okay, fine. And then my husband comes and says, "Oh, Anna, can we use this time because I need to go over?" I'm like, no. At this moment, I just need to relax and eat my food. Mental health, heard about it? Yes. And they both say, okay. We'll check that at 3:00. Sometimes I say, I'm going to say this as a mother, or I'm going to tell you this as a wife, or listen to this and think of me as your coworker, please. So it's easy to get along. We've done that for 32 years, so.
Yeah, you have a system. So what would you
Yes.
say those 3 rules are that you wanted to share?
3 rules to be happy while working with your family.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, number 1, just write it down. Number
Okay,
1.
I got my pen. I'm ready.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. Talk about what you really enjoy doing at work. What you enjoy and what you think you're really good at. And ask your family to give you that part. For example, my mom said, I don't like to do the numbers, the accounting part. I don't like to set goals for other people or supervise other people. So she doesn't do that. So we only give the task to the person that is strong in that. Number 2, to work happy. Be transparent in your feelings If you feel a pinch alert, a pinch, like something is not right, say it now. Like, be open. That's the way we do it. We say, I have a pinch alert about the web page. It's like, I have a problem about the web page. So it's not about you. I have the pinch alert. So that's the second one. And listen to the other people when they have this pinch alerts. And rule number 3. Maybe I'm going to want to add another rule after. Bonus rule. Decide when we're talking as coworkers and when you're talking as a member of the family. If you go on vacations, you can say, from this hour to this hour, I need to connect and I need to work, and you're my coworker and we need to work together. Afterwards, we're going to go swimming or we're going to do whatever, and we're off work. Just, right? And the bonus one, it's more about the ownership of the business. If you own the business, this is the bonus. You could be part of the family that owns the business, but not work in the family business. Okay? Or you can work in the family business and you don't have ownership. Okay? So that's going to be super clear. I advise not to go 50-50 at, like everything is for everyone, because I've seen people fight over how much money do you have and how do you spend it and whatever. If you own part of the company and you're working in the company, be very clear on who gets paid what for what kind of activities. So either it's you or anybody else that's going to come around later, it's going to get this amount of money for this kind of activity. What you gain at the end of the day, how do you really want to share it? And you have to put that on writing. Even if it's not like legal, but there's an agreement between us. Somebody that doesn't work in the company, but is part of the family, and you want to give them money, you can give them the money, but they're not working for you. The worst thing you can do is put a family member inside your company that is not skilled enough to do the job, and it just affects everyone. So if you keep those 3 rules from the beginning and this bonus just for the owners, I think you're going to be fine.
That is a good point, to write everything down. Even if it's your family, business is writing everything down just so you know where you stand. That's important.
Yes, roles and responsibilities and how much you paid for that.
That is super important. But I see, Anna, you have all of this energy, but you said before, it's like, I want to talk to you about something. You're like, no. How do you make these boundaries with coaching and being a mom, being a daughter, being a wife? It's a lot of energy. When do you have me time?
My host family from Canada, because I lived there for a year in Selkirk, Manitoba. My host dad used to say, when are you going to have Anna Maria's days? Like, oh, I should, but I want to experience this. I want to be here with you guys. I want to, later on, I'm going to give a workshop. I want to be in so many places that sometimes I think, well, maybe when I die, I'm going to have time to rest. And I'm looking forward for that too. It's going to be fun. Well, I'm so curious. to know that exactly when it's going to turn off, like boom, and then woo, like a switch. That's what I'm very curious of, that right moment when you just cross, I don't know, cross from one life to the other life. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it will be different. But that aside, when do you actually have time to rest so that you can keep up your peppiness?
I put in my calendar every Tuesday from 7 in the morning to 11:30, 12 to play golf. So at the beginning, I was very upset because I said, this is too much time. I'm just hitting this little ball over the grass. This is so... I've done this for 4 years now. I just love the company. My friends are very nice. I started enjoying just looking at the skies and the trees and having some quiet time. Well, chatting with friends, but outside of the business area.
You actually won something. You put it on TikTok. You won something for your golf. You were like second or third place. So you're getting good at it too.
my first trophy playing golf. I was so excited because I really suck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and another thing I do is play the piano. So I hired a teacher every Monday from 5 in the afternoon, 5 to 6. She comes to my house. So that's for me too.
And you're really good at that too. You had some TikTok videos and you were playing the piano in the train station. I was like, oh, look at that. That's pretty cool.
Well, it wasn't good. I was very brave to be playing, but there was lots of people watching me and they clap at the end. It was an airport in Mexico City.
Ah, okay.
They had this piano there.
It was good. Better than I could do. So I was like, wow, look at that.
So you watch my TikTok?
Yes, I just started on TikTok a few months ago. For like the first couple months, you're the only one that I was following. So I'm like, oh, look at what Anna's doing.
Going to parties and stuff. Yeah, I like to do that. Yes.
But it was pretty cool. I started to get into the TikTok, and before I just found it kind of overwhelming, but now it's just little bite-sized pieces of information. You're like, okay, I can see why the younger people like this. Anna, what would you have as the final point for people who are going into this last quarter of the year? There's a lot of drama happening. How can we stay positive and continue with our personal development?
I would say, think of your life like an interesting river. Place yourself in a river. You're right in the middle. Think which could be your best boat you can ride on. And you're looking to the sides of the river and seeing different things happening. Be an observer of what's happening today. And choose where to park your boat. Where do you want to stop and enjoy? And how much time you want to stop there, and then go back to your vessel. And just enjoy what you just experienced and keep looking. So if in this next months, this year that, it's been hectic, just start looking around and taking what you really need and nothing else.
Very good advice. For those of you who may be wanting more advice, where can we find your website and Wisdenn on social media? I know Wiz.Coach is now in English and Spanish, which is awesome. So where else can we find you and the team?
Well, in Wisdenn.com, Wiz.Coach, el podcast de Wisdenn, and of course in Facebook, Instagram, you can either find Wisdenn or Wiz.Coach. Yeah, and you can also write directly to me, anna.quintanilla@wisdenn.com.
Very nice to know.
Yeah.
Maybe someone will be like, we need a Wiz.Coach for our company. Ana Maria, what can we do about that?
Yeah, please write to me. Yes, that would be very nice. Or you can have it for yourself.
Wiz.Coach is awesome because it can scale up and down. I love that about it. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was nice to see you again the second time, and to see, even with everything going on, you're still so positive. It has some nice vibes for all of us that are around you. So please continue like that.
Oh, nice. I will, of course. I'm so happy to be here with you and with everyone who's listening. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Clover Harvest Tribe, for staying with us until the end. And this is the end of episode 4 for season 5 of our Resilience series. We'll see you next time.